Hello students, in this video we are going to see the synthesis of phenothiazine. So phenothiazine is you can see the structure, it is a heterocyclic molecule belonging to the class thiazine, and derivatives of phenothiazine is mostly used as an antipsychotic drugs. So as you can see the structure, it contains sulfur. So we are going to prepare it using diphenylamine and sulfur. Here aluminium chloride acts as a catalyst. So chemicals which we will require is diphenylamine, then sulfur and anhydrous aluminium chloride. So now let us see in detail about the procedure as well as the chemicals and our compound, that is phenothiazine.
So the aim of practical is to perform synthesis of phenothiazine. Let us see the requirements for this practical. Apparatus we will require are beakers, round bottom flask, glass rod, filter paper, thermometer and spatula. Chemicals we will require diphenylamine, sulfur and hydrous aluminum chloride, absolute alcohol. So precursor for phenothiazine is diphenylamine, and anhydrous aluminum chloride, it acts as a catalyst. Alcohol we are going to use for the purification purpose. So before moving on to the principle and procedure, let us see the account of chemicals. So diphenylamine, it is a derivative of aniline as you can see from the structure. It consists of an amine bound to two phenyl groups. Its molecular formula is C12H11N. Molecular weight is 139.22 gram per mole. It is a colorless solid. Then moving on to its solubility, it dissolves well in many common organic solvents and is moderately soluble in water. Next chemical is sulfur. It is abbreviated as S. Its molecular weight is 32 gram per mole. It is abundant, multivalent and non-metallic. So multivalent, it means it exhibits more than one valency. Elemental sulfur is bright yellow, crystalline solid at room temperature. It is insoluble in water but dissolves in carbon disulfide, anhydrous liquid ammonia and methylene iodide. Also, it is moderately soluble in benzene, toluene, chloroform and acetone. Next is aluminium chloride, that is AlCl3. Its molecular weight is 133.34 gram per mole. It is also known as aluminium trichloride. So as you can see, there are three chlorine atoms bound to aluminium. So it is known as aluminium trichloride. It is white solid. So in pure form, it is white in color. But sometimes the sample is contaminated with the iron 3 chloride as impurity, which gives it a slight yellowish color. So you can see in the diagram both purified aluminium chloride as well as the contaminated aluminium chloride. So purified is white in color, whereas contaminated one, it shows slight yellowish color due to iron 3 chloride as impurity. Aluminium chloride is a common Lewis acid catalyst for Friedel-Crafts reaction, both acylation reaction as well as alkylation. Okay, so compound which we are going to synthesize is phenothiazine. So before moving on to its properties, let us see how it got its name. So you can see in the structure, you can see it consists of the phenyl ring. So pheno, then it contains sulfur. That is why we are using the term thia. Thia stands for sulfur. And you can see also nitrogen is a part of heterocyclic ring. So therefore we are using the term aza. And as it is six membered, the suffix will be ine. So on combining we get phenothiazine. Molecular formula for phenothiazine is C12H9NS. Its molecular weight is 199.27 gram per mole. Melting point of phenothiazine is 185 degrees Celsius. Now moving on to its appearance, it appears as greenish yellow rhombic leaflets or diamond shaped plates. So it is available in two shapes, rhombic leaflets or diamond shaped plates. It is insoluble in petroleum ether, chloroform and water, and soluble in ether and hot acetic acid. Okay, so precaution to be taken with phenothiazine is it should be protected from light, because on exposure to light it turns dark green in color due to oxidation. It is related to the thiazine class of heterocyclic compounds. Derivatives of phenothiazine are highly bioactive and have widespread use. So as such, phenothiazine itself is only of the theoretical interest, but its derivatives, they are highly bioactive and they find varied uses. So let us see some of the derivatives of phenothiazine. Pro, prochlorperazine, then chlorpromazine, fluphenazine, perfenazine, trifluoperazine. So there are many other derivatives. Okay, so let us move on to its uses. So as we have already discussed, phenothiazine itself is only of the theoretical interest, but its derivatives, they are used in psychiatry, also other fields of medicine and in pest management, that is for pest control. They find use as pesticides. Let us see some of the medical uses. So phenothiazine derivatives, they are used in treatment of serious mental as well as emotional disorders, including schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders. Also, it is used to control agitation in certain patients. They are used to treat severe nausea and vomiting, and they also find use in the treatment of severe hiccups. So these are some of the uses of derivatives of phenothiazine. Okay, so now let us see the principle. So as we have discussed, we are going to prepare phenothiazine using diphenylamine and sulfur in the presence of catalyst aluminium chloride. So it is prepared by fusing diphenylamine with sulfur with rapid evolution of hydrogen sulfide, that is H2S, in presence of aluminium chloride. Now instead of aluminium chloride, calcium chloride can also be used, but generally the yield obtained is less when we use calcium chloride in place of aluminium chloride. So we are going to use aluminium chloride as catalyst. You can see the reaction. Diphenylamine, when fused with sulfur, we are going to get our compound, that is phenothiazine. Okay, so as you can see, principle is very simple. It is a fusion reaction between diphenylamine and sulfur. Now let us see the procedure. So we have to take 5.5 gram of diphenylamine, 2.1 gram of sulfur and zero point 0.8 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride in the round bottom flask, and then we are going to melt them together on the heating mantle. So we are going to perform the heating in heating mantle. Now we are using round bottom flask because it will provide uniform heating. It will allow uniform heating. That is why we are going to use round bottom flask. So when we start heating, the reaction may attain temperature up to 140 to 150 degrees Celsius. So you can see temperature is going to rise suddenly, and along with it we will see the evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, so evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas can be checked with the use of lead acetate paper. It will turn brown black when it comes in contact with hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so now we are going to lower the temperature to the few degrees so that the reaction can be slowed down. So we will lower the temperature we will reduce the temperature of the heating mantle so that reaction will slow down, and this will allow complete reaction. Now when the reaction is settled, again we are going to raise the temperature to 160 degrees Celsius for some time. So you can see temperature here in this synthesis plays a critical role. So temperature is to be controlled very carefully. Then we will see that the mass has solidified. So we are going to collect this mass, solidified mass, in the mortar pestle, then ground it up when cool, and then we are going to extract first with water and then with dilute alcohol. Okay, so why we are doing here extraction? To remove the water soluble as well as alcohol soluble impurities. So we have seen in the solubility part that phenothiazine is insoluble in water. So obviously we are using here water to remove the impurities. Okay, so after the extraction is completed, the residue, it consists of almost pure phenothiazine as yellowish leaflets. Okay, so let us see the procedure once again. We are going to take diphenylamine, sulfur anhydrous aluminum chloride in the RPF and then melt them. Lower the temperature, and when the reaction is settled, it attains equilibrium. Again raise the temperature to 160 degrees Celsius. Finally ground up the melt, extract with water and then with alcohol, and we will get pure phenothiazine of yellowish color. Okay, so now let us see how to actually perform the practical.
So let us now start the actual synthesis. Before that, we will have a look at the requirements and chemicals. So we are going to carry out the reaction in the RBF, that is round bottom flask, as we are going to heat the reaction mixture. So we are going to use the RBF. We will require glass rod, then spatula for weighing the chemicals. Temperature monitoring is very important in this reaction, so we are going to use a thermometer. Now let us see the chemicals. Diphenylamine. You can see the white flakes of diphenylamine. We have already taken 5.5 gram. Then sulfur powder, you can see it is a yellowish powder. Then anhydrous aluminum chloride, which is going to act as our catalyst. So I have taken it 0.8 gram. Then to remove the impurities, we are going to require ethanol as well as distilled water. We are going to heat our reaction mixture in the heating mantle. So you can see we have taken the heating mantle and we are using RBF so that our reaction mixture will get uniform heat from all the sides. So now let us put all the chemicals one by one into the RBF. This is 5.5 gram of diphenylamine. Take care that your chemicals don't get spilled outside the RBF. Now we are going to add sulfur powder. So here basically they are going to fuse with each other and we will get a molten mass. We are going to heat all the reactants. Okay, so now we will put on the heating mantle. Okay, so when the mass starts to get fused or starts to get melted, you will see that the temperature rises to about 150 to 160 degrees Celsius. So at that time we will slightly lower the temperature so as our reaction attains the equilibrium. So to decrease the intensity of reaction, we will then decrease the temperature. You can see the reaction has started. All the reactants are getting fused together. You can see they have melted. Let us see the temperature. While heating, H2S gas gets evolved. So make sure that you are wearing the mask and put on the exhaust fans of the laboratory. So you can see the temperature has almost reached 160 degrees Celsius. So we are going to lower down the heat. So by lowering heat, what will happen? The speed of reaction or the intensity of reaction will get slow. So you can see the changes in the reaction mixture. The color has changed to dark orange. We have to control the temperature of the reaction. After some time you will see that it has converted into a molten mass, solid mass. So you can see that reactants have melted and the mass has started to become solid. So when all the mass gets converted into the solid form, we will remove it and we will ground it and then dry the product. You can see that the reaction mixture has now solidified. Now we are going to remove this solid portion. So we have removed the solidified mass. You can see the yellowish color mass. We have removed it with the help of the glass rod and spatula. So now we are going to crush it. We will crush it with the help of the mortar and pestle. So you can see we have converted it into the fine powder. Now to remove the water soluble and alcohol soluble impurities, we are going to extract it with the help of water and then with the help of alcohol. So we have transferred the crushed powder into the conical flask. Now we will add water and shake it. We will shake it vigorously so as to remove the water soluble impurities. So you can see we are shaking it vigorously so as to remove the water soluble impurities. Now we will filter it. We have already set up the filtration assembly. So the filtrate contains water soluble impurities. So the residue is our drug, that is phenothiazine. It still may contain the alcohol soluble impurities. So
Our next step will be to remove alcohol soluble impurities. So for that we will again extract it with the help of dilute alcohol. So now we have taken the filtered residue and the alcohol, dilute alcohol. We will shake it so as to remove the alcohol soluble impurities. So now we have completed the extraction. Now we will again filter it. So now the filtrate will contain the water and the alcohol and the alcohol soluble impurities. So you can see we have completed the filtration. So this is our pure phenothiazine drug. Now we will remove it and keep it for drying. So you can see the product. Now we will keep it for drying into the hot air oven. So this is our hot air oven. We will keep the product inside it for drying. So you can see the product, that is phenothiazine, has now dried. You can see it has dried completely. Now we will weigh it and calculate the percentage yield.
Let us now see the calculation. So first we are going to find out theoretical yield. Now in this practical, the limiting agent is diphenylamine. Hence we are going to calculate the theoretical yield using diphenylamine. As we have seen in previous practicals, limiting agent is the agent which is consumed fully in the reaction, and that agent is going to determine how much of our product is going to be formed. So theoretical yield always is to be calculated using the limiting agent. So here it is diphenylamine. Molecular formula for diphenylamine is C12H11N. Molecular formula for phenothiazine is C12H9NS. From the molecular formulas, we can calculate the molecular weights. So molecular weight of diphenylamine comes out to be 169.22 gram per mole, and that of phenothiazine is 199.27 gram per mole. So from the molecular weights, we can confer that 169.22 gram of diphenylamine is going to form 199.27 gram of phenothiazine. In the procedure, we have used 5.5 gram of diphenylamine. So 5.5 gram of diphenylamine will form X gram of phenothiazine. So simply by cross multiplication, we can find out X, which comes out to be 6.47 grams. So theoretical yield is 6.47 gram. Practical yield was found to be 5.6 gram. Practical yield means the actual weight of the compound which we have got after synthesis. So after synthesis, on weighing, we found that phenothiazine was 5.6 grams. So percentage yield is practical yield divided by theoretical into 100. So it comes out to be 86.55 percentage. So now let us see how to report the result. So percentage yield of phenothiazine was found to be 86.55 percentage. Now let us see some of the questions for synopsis. So first question is, diphenylamine is a derivative of. So as we have already seen in structure and we have discussed in theory, it is a derivative of aniline. Again you can see the structure of diphenylamine as well as aniline. So from the structure of aniline, it is clear that diphenylamine is a derivative of aniline. What is the role of aluminium chloride in synthesis of phenothiazine? So aluminium chloride acts as a catalyst. We can also use calcium chloride, but the yield obtained is less with calcium chloride. What is the last step in synthesis of phenothiazine? So we have seen in the procedure and also we have seen in the actual practical that last step is extraction with water and ethanol. So this we are doing to remove the water as well as ethanol soluble impurities so that phenothiazine obtained is pure. While synthesizing phenothiazine, which parameter is most critical? So as we have discussed as well as we have seen in practical that here temperature plays an important role. So temperature control is very much critical in this practical. First, when the temperature rises to about 140 to 150 degrees Celsius, we are slowing down the reaction by decreasing temperature so that reaction goes to completion. And at the end again we have to increase the temperature. Next question is discuss the solubility of phenothiazine. It is insoluble in petroleum ether, chloroform and water, and soluble in ether and hot acetic acid. Name most widely used phenothiazine derivatives. So, most widely used derivatives are chlorpromazine, thioridazine, and trifluoperazine. They are used as antipsychotic drugs. What are the side effects of phenothiazine derivatives? So there are many side effects, out of which common side effects we are going to see, that is drowsiness, dizziness, headache, low blood pressure and blurred vision. So these drugs act on the CNS. So obviously side effects will also pertain to the CNS effects. What do you mean by multivalent atom? So in theory we have seen that sulfur is a multivalent atom. So what is multivalent atom or element? So atoms having more than one valency, they are known as multivalent atoms. Now sulfur exhibits three valencies, 2, 4 and 6. Okay, so this was about the synthesis of phenothiazine. We had synthesized phenothiazine using diphenylamine and sulfur. It is simply a fusion reaction with help of the catalyst aluminium chloride. Thank you.